By the way, guys,
That's fun.
the Diet Dr. Pepper train is out. Has left the station, and is.
Why
big
is
fan,
the
right?
can so boring looking? What happened?
They stand out. They don't need to. They don't need to try hard. The flavor, it speaks for itself. Such a great drink.
That's really good.
All right, we got a ton of fun stuff here to get to. In fact, we should get straight to the Twitch thing.
Yeah, we're gonna run out of time.
So let's just jump right into that.
Okay.
So there was a breaking
Ranch.
article here on the website aftermath.site. Now, I've never heard of this website before. What is that?
You know, when I saw it, I thought it seemed familiar, but I wasn't sure why. And then I saw the author's name, and I also thought that sounded familiar, and wasn't sure why. And then I put it together that we talked about this guy like a month or two ago because he wrote one of the Hassan glazing articles that you were all fired up about a couple months ago.
Yep.
So it's interesting that is the source. But regardless, the story itself is it's pretty interesting what's going on over there at Twitch.
So let's see here. Let me just read it. It doesn't appear to be that long. So Twitch CEO, controversial decision to unban Ada Ross was about second chances, not business consideration. He said this is not even remotely related to business. Now, people are speculating that Twitch is in financial...
I don't think it's even speculation. I think it's just known that it's lost a lot of money.
So they're in such a dire situation where they're like, we need Aiden Ross back on our platform, which is like, I know he's a big creator, but that's a really bad sign. If like one creator can make or break it, like imagine YouTube being like, without PewDiePie, we might have to close it down.
Yeah.
It's just so much bigger than that. And so should Twitch be.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, it is interesting. The overall Twitch community does seem much smaller than YouTube.
It's a very small pool, it feels like. Yeah. Twitch CEO, yeah, so here it is. At the tail end of March, over 2 years after being given the boot from Twitch, Aiden Ross was suddenly unbanned. This came as a surprise to many viewers and not a pleasant one. What was he banned for? Probably explains.
It says that he was banned for not any one incident, but from strikes compiling, essentially. Yeah.
I think the final one was the F slur was on stream.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
I was curious if I could find the total live viewers on Twitch right now, and I could. It's 3 million people, which isn't a lot if you think about it.
There's 3 million people on Twitch's website right now?
There's 3 million viewers right now.
How? That doesn't make any sense.
Total.
No, total across all
That's
all
low,
channels?
in my opinion.
That's low.
That's very low.
3 million? Well, I mean, based on what, like who, if you look at who's live and like the top person has 30,000, like.
I just mean it's on a whole different scale. YouTube, like how many people do you think are watching YouTube right now in the world?
Like
hell of a lot.
millions.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even understand how 3 million makes sense.
You think it's too high?
Yeah. I mean, I look at the just look at the numbers.
I mean, looking at my sidebar, if I was just to add these, they would be close to 100,000. And
there's so many like small channels that have 200 viewers or whatever. I'm sure it adds
No,
up.
but those. So like, if you go here right now, Hassan is number one with 34,000. Well, actually, I don't know if he's number one. It just shows.
No, Marvel Rival. Well, that's the whole game. That's everybody that's streaming Marvel Rivals collectively.
Let's see what's.
That's a good way to
Today
check
is like
it.
a huge day. There's a giant patch that came out.
So
I think 3 million makes sense to me.
Okay. 3
I actually
million.
think it's a low number.
Yeah,
Like,
sounds
it's not a
low
big
to me
website.
when I
Right.
heard it.
3 million people live? Because that's the thing, it's live. That's a anyway. Okay, so regardless, they're financially and not doing great, and have not been doing great. Ross's first tenure on the platform came to an end in 2023, not long after he began cozying up to the likes of professional misogynist and assault trafficking allegation magnate Andrew Tate. Things did not seem on track to improve when Rolling Stones wrote up a couple months after Ross's Twitch suspension that he platformed an anonymous neo-Nazi on Kick. He's such an idiot. He's such a stupid fucking. Oh, God. As recently as October 24, he platformed white nationalist Nick Fuentes, who proceeded to engage in Holocaust denial during the broadcast, as he is wont to do. Ross was also accused of Nazis saluting some fans earlier this year, which is the same year he swore he'd turn over a new leaf, at least in regards to chat moderation. Now, once again, I want to remind you that he is Jewish.
He is. Yeah, I'm Jewish?
How you have
Actually, I'm not.
How you gonna have Nick Fuentes on to do Holocaust denial, and you're Jewish?
Clout?
Clout? Nick Fuentes clout?
No, with his own fan base. I mean, we have some clips in here that are from relatively recent. There's one from not too long ago of him, just lightly defending Hitler.
Brother.
And you just have to look at his chat to see what, that community's attitude towards that is.
Aiden Ross says he feels defeated trying to explain himself after an out-of-context clip of him reaching out to his fans went viral with people calling it a Nazi salute.
Yeah, this is
This is the one I was talking about, but this is one that he also got some shit for.
Yeah.
He says, I'm pictured the way I'm pictured, and it sucks. Sorry to everyone I have failed. Okay, let's see.
This side, too. I fuck with all you over here, too. Thank you so much for coming.
What? Why would... Okay, hold on.
Side, too. I fuck with all you over here, too. Thank you so much for coming.
That might actually have been a mistake, I feel like.
Yeah, I could maybe see it. Although, again, with all the context of the other things he said around Nazi shit and hangs out with Nazis and has them on all the time.
Yeah, this was before Elon, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right, actually. It's on the 16th. Elon was on the 20th.
He predated him like 4 days.
So,
if this is from...
he's an innovator.
So
Elon was copying him.
If it was pre-Elon, that would give more weight to it being an accident.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's an accident. But the thing is,
Do you really think
like Dan
it's
was
an
saying,
accident? I can't
October...
tell. It looks so intentional.
To me, it's like he doesn't seem to be thinking about much. He's just walking towards people. It just seems like a weird setting to bust that out. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you'd be more intentional if you wanted to do that.
Sure.
Maybe.
I just sent another clip from October, and yeah, this is what Dan was saying about like having Nick Fuentes, and this one is with Sneeko though. This clip that I just sent.
Let's take a look here. Yeah. The one on Drive.
Yep.
Okay. Oh God.
Also, the weird argument was that Hitler, would you rather have your wife?
Okay, I'll be real. Guys, listen. I'm Jewish. You guys know that. Hitler was a great leader. What he did was wrong. I obviously so fucked. It's for real. What he did was fucked up. He killed innocent people. But he was a good leader. Like at the end of the day, like take it with a grain of salt. With what I'm saying, like, bro. No, he was. No, he literally was. Like he made.
Did you blur his chat?
Yeah, I blurred his chat.
Yeah, it's too bad. I feel like
what is the? He's such an idiot.
Yeah.
There's kids I knew like this in Hebrew school that would like try and be funny about this shit. He's giving off that type of
Yeah, I
vibe.
agree. It's very like just adolescent type of immature ramblings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's historical analysis, as they say.
Right. As Comrade Casey likes to call it.
A vast majority of people all stand by him, and he ruled he almost had Russia too. He almost took out all these countries, bro.
Listen, I know that Aiden Ross isn't exactly an intellectual giant, but this whole line of reasoning has always baffled me. How was he a good leader?
He literally got like 60 or...
He got everybody killed. He
like
lost,
10,
and he ended up
Germans
killing
died?
himself.
Like literally how many...
Doesn't seem like he did a very good job leading.
How many Germans died in World War II?
I think just because he was successful at killing Jewish people, he killed a lot of them.
Well,
So
people look and be like, "Wow, he achieved so much. He built this. He built this great army, and he had rallied."
But it wasn't
behind
great.
him.
Yeah, he was great, and he was shit at leading it, and he ended up losing.
He lost. He got 5 million people killed for nothing.
Right.
And by the way,
of his own people,
of
way
his
more
own
than
people,
that, obviously.
but of his own German people, which he presumably cared about.
Yeah.
And civilian hold on. That's soldiers. Civilian German deaths are estimated between 7 and 9 million.
So there you go. So
that's horrific.
I actually didn't know that was so high.
That's crazy.
That's awful.
So that's like that's potentially 14 million Germans who got killed.
What?
Right.
Can't even comprehend.
And by the way, this economic boom that everyone likes to credit him for was built on the back of literal slavery
and plunder. and just stealing other people's shit.
Yeah, like
just like conquering your neighbors and taking their shit.
he took a bunch of Jewish people and other undesirables, like quote unquote, and made them work slave. And so, yeah, I mean, slave labor is a great way to save money. The greatest, actually, some people might say. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Military deaths. A study by German historian Rüdiger Ovesmann estimates 6.3 million German military personnel died. Estimate of civilian deaths varies from 350,000 to 2 million, with the exact number still debated. And that's very different than what we read.
That's a huge
Combining military and civilian deaths, the total number of German deaths during World War II is estimated to be around 5.3 million. Okay. So
Is that not counting the Holocaust?
no, that's just Germans.
Right. So, yeah. So maybe the other number was counting both.
Right.
Because they're civilians too.
Right. That makes sense. Might be just talking about ethnic Germans.
Yeah, so I mean, great leader. Like, what do you mean by that? I don't think he's thought.
By no metric.
He-
And that's the
he's-
thing. The only, like, when you, there's no charitable way to cut it because it's like, well, what did he accomplish? Well, he killed a lot of Jews. So was that the part that you're
I know what
giving
he'll
a thumbs
say.
up? Like, yeah, he lost the war, but at least he got a lot done.
I'll say that I know what he'll say. He's a great leader. He'll say the economy and he united the country and all. It's like
Yeah, to what end? It's
Exactly.
like you can't just like cut that off.
Yeah.
It's like you have to
complete
finish that
utter
sentence.
ruin.
Right.
He ran his country into complete and utter ruin.
There's no metric upon which that is good leadership.
Led them
Sorry.
into a war that
Insane.
of annihilation.
No.
And then
So-
he get them like hyped up on amphetamines as well, like meth.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So fuck
Think-
these guys up.
Well, that's a good thing. That's dope.
Well, I mean, having an army that doesn't need to eat as much, doesn't sleep, loses their humanity, fucking insane. Yeah.
Now, I should point out the reason we're not just doing this to refresh ourselves on how shitty Aiden Ross is, although it serves that purpose too. But the reason we included this is, as you're about to see in this article, Dan Clancy's rationale for being comfortable with unbanning him is that he thinks he's reformed. He thinks he's turned a new leaf and he's changed. And it's like, this shit is from
so
not that long ago.
funny.
bro.
That is so
That's crazy.
ridiculous that
Did
he
it-
would even say that.
He threatened to, like, he said, kill yourself to someone, to Hassan at some point too. Like, he's done insane
Oh yeah, he
shit to
hates
people.
Hassan.
People who streams on their platform. How insane is it?
So is he planning on moving back to Twitch? Is that
Yes.
a thing? He
I-
is.
Well, he's
my-
unbanned. He has the opportunity to stream. As far as I know, he still has not.
Yeah, my understanding is that he is just his like comeback stream was on Kick. His unbanned stream from Twitch was on Kick.
Well, he's definitely under contract, right? I mean,
He's gonna keep just
Definitely.
fucking getting people over on Kick, like XQC. He streams on Twitch a little bit, and then everyone come over to Kick. So stupid.
let's see. I feel defeated trying to even repair things or explain stuff because there's no explaining, Ross said on Twitter after the Nazi salute clip, originally from earlier this year, went viral in March. I'm pictured the way I'm picturing it. Sucks. Sorry to everyone I failed. It's not difficult to imagine why Twitch employees, like Twitch viewers, were upset that Ross has been permitted to return to his old, significantly more visible stomping grounds. After all, his recent actions do not exactly scream reformed. During a Twitch all-hands meeting that took place last week, of which Aftermath has viewed video of, one employee voiced their incredulity to Twitch's CEO Dan the Creep Clancy. I'm just saying. Where can I get it? I mean, yeah.
Just Dan Clancy.
Just Dan Clancy.
KKK Clancy.
What about KKK Clancy?
Ha SS on Pike KKK
Unironically good and accurate. What evidence did you evaluate that Aiden Ross has reformed enough since his ban to justify him being unbanned? The employee asked.
That's a good question.
Yeah, to be transparent, this is one of the decisions we've made that I've disagreed with the most. I strongly believe that this is opening the wider community to harm and sends a signal that we will allow the sort of vitriol Aiden has been known to perpetuate. I think it's interesting that, like, this does confirm, like, in my opinion, when you are running a big social media platform, it should be based on your terms of service, who you let on and who you don't. you can't ideologically pick and choose who fucking is allowed on your site. It's fucked up. And
Well,
it's clearly something that Twitch is doing.
Well, in this case, Dan Clancy that's the argument he's making.
Well, Dan wants to make money. You can see the this is the culture in the office is one of like, you know, we don't like him because he's, you know, I mean, he's racist, right?
Sure.
Which is a good reason not to like him.
Right.
But as a company, should we be making decisions on who can stream there based on like,
if we like them or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but in this case, I think Twitch's community guidelines do. I mean, he was banned from the website not because people didn't dislike him, but because he kept piling on violations. You know what I mean?
I think what happened is the website's probably gotten significantly more tight since then. They lost a lot of big streamers. They've been in a bunch of controversy.
I agree. And as you're going to see as you go through this article, but Dan Clancy explicitly says that this is not a business decision. We're not doing this for money reasons. He's doing it on principle. He's doing it on the principle that you were just saying, that he was banned back then. It's been 2 years since he was banned. I think that he should have another opportunity to prove that he can follow the rules. And he says if he breaks the rules again, we'll just ban him again.
Yeah, the proof that that's a lie is someone like Destiny, who's been banned for years, you know what I mean, and never allowed back. Aiden Ross is just as fucked up.
And countless other people that.
Yeah,
they
unbanned
Sneeko recently.
They unbanned Sneeko.
Although they did reverse it real quick.
They unbanned the fucking Houthi terrorists. Yeah, they rebanned them, but still somebody made that decision.
Yeah.
So
no, it definitely seemed, and also there's a bit of like reading between the lines that you can do on this article. It doesn't like call a huge amount of attention to it, but there's an all staff meeting and there's people like recording that on their phones and then sharing it with journalists. You know what I mean?
It.
Like,
I love it.
Something is not going right over there for sure.
It just continues to be depicted as just a total like discombobulated, just amateur show. Like if you look at a big tech company like Google, I mean, these people have their shit together. They have teams, they have systems, they have rules, they have got all. Twitch seems to be deciding shit on the fly, which is fucking nuts.
Which I think is something that a company does when it's struggling. I really do think that's.
I mean, they have poor leadership. Dan Clancy is clearly just a terrible fucking.
It seems like the company's run really poorly. We know that it's never been profitable. Like, I feel like there's got to be pressure coming from Amazon to like do something.
Why would they want to? Yeah, why would they want to deal with it? I mean, YouTube wasn't profitable for like up until like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it took them a long time to do that. But YouTube's also, like we said before, just an order of magnitude bigger in scale than Twitch.
Well, what's a more comparable? I don't even know what's comparable to Twitch.
I mean, the only real comparable things to Twitch is its direct competitors like Kick. And the other ones that were direct competitors, they all failed and went out of business. Microsoft had Mixer. They took a swing at it. It lasted like 2 years and they shut it down.
Able to do it because they have crypto.
They're being funded by crypto casinos. Exactly. And Twitch is only able to do it because they're being funded by Amazon. But I feel like at a certain point, the people at Amazon, you know, especially where the economy seems to be going, if we hit a recession or whatever and everybody's tightening their belts and you've got this website that is just bleeding money, I don't know.
I don't know why. I'm surprised it stayed open this long. But again, if you look at YouTube, which I think is an example of a real extremely well-run company, is that people we're here live streaming on YouTube and like we're not bankrupting the company. The company's not going. I don't know. It just doesn't seem that. I feel like Twitch.
People say Rumble as another example of a competition to Twitch.
Anywho, let me keep reading.
Anywho.
What evidence did you evaluate that Aiden Ross had reformed enough since his ban to just... I already read that one. Clancy largely replied in platitudes and rules speak, which we'll get into in a second, but the last part of his response is the most interesting, so let's start there. He said, quote, "I can say this emphatically to everyone. This is in no way, shape, or form based upon any business consideration whatsoever. The fact that he's saying that is sus. Like, why would you even say that? I swear, guys, let me say this first. It's not because we're in financial trouble and need to make money. So whoever says that is wrong.
So weird saying like that.
Clancy said during the meeting, this is even remotely related to business, guys. I swear, guys.
He's taking a principled stance.
It's about deciding about when you can give someone a second chance and then giving them a chance. But if they don't live up to our expectations, we can take action. Expectations, again, it's like, bro, you're not the arbiter. You're acting like you are the arbiter of like what is good and bad. And that's not your fucking job. What do you mean live up to your expectations? That's like,
to their terms
is
of
he
service.
following the rules or not?
This is such a weird like statement to put out about Aiden Ross.
No, he didn't put it out. This was filmed secretly.
Yeah, secretly
Or-
showed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, I guess even within the company, it's
Mhm.
like we're
Well, I you know, they were saying
like
he's
I
getting.
am personally giving this guy a second chance, and it's like we're talking about Aiden Ross.
Right,
Like,
and but
it's
then
just-
also-
there's such a mismatch. Like,
Right.
what are you actually doing? Just
Right.
the real.
There's no consistency in their logic because he goes, oh, I need to give Aiden Ross a second chance. At the same time, people who are not as bad as him
Yeah.
are not getting second chances. And
It's clear that because Aiden's huge.
Yeah.
He gets huge numbers. It would be another like Kai for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not saying that Kai is like Aiden, but just in terms of like scale of having hundreds of thousands of subs and all that.
yep. He said, what were you going to say, AB?
No, I was just gonna say that yeah, Aiden's probably the main lure for Kick. So that's obviously people are gonna come, bring that up that he's bringing him over to take out the competition, and that's
Was-
why he's assuring everyone that it's not business related.
Was Aiden like part of? Did he like launch Kick? I can't remember.
Nah.
I think he
Train
him and
went there. It was
Trainwreck were the
Trainwreck,
like
Trainwreck.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
did Aiden
They-
went over
they-
there
He was
pretty,
early.
pretty early, didn't he? Yeah.
he's had this whole like Kick facility, his like compound. That's all from Kick. Everything's Kick branded there. And his teasing his comeback stream. He's been in his old room with the green curtain. Yeah.
So let's see
Do
here.
you think there's no way people at the company are buying this,
No.
right? When he's telling them, I am going to give Aiden Ross a second chance.
That's why he did this. He had
what?
everybody in the company meet so that he could just be like, because he knew there was going to be there was going to be discontent there.
I don't know if the meeting was called specifically for this purpose or it just came up during a meeting, but
It seems like it was for this because he says
Maybe,
an
yeah.
all hands on deck meeting. I think that's what it implies. I don't know though. It does not explicitly say. You're right.
He could have been more genuine in that would be a big thing for Twitch to do in terms of like revenue. Like at least acknowledge that part of it.
That
like,
would
you don't
be
have to say that that's why
terrifying
you're
though.
doing it.
Imagine
but
acknowledging that one streamer has an actual effect in your bottom line. Like that's terrifying.
it is scary.
As like
I mean, it could just in terms of like the ripple effect, not just his viewers, but like just getting back. I mean, I think it's possible. I don't know. We've made fun of Kick quite a bit, but it does seem to have a lot of popularity. I mean,
yeah,
I guess
have
I
big
don't know how
creators.
many are bots or whatever, but you could say the same for Twitch.
I just can see all of his employees rolling their eyes when he said,
Yeah, nobody's
I'm
buying
not-
it.
Well, and I saw
we're
somebody in
not
the
doing
chat
this."
point out, and this is a good point too, is that he is the CEO of the company. Why, like, you probably should be making your decisions based on business. Him saying like this has nothing to do with business.
Yeah,
it's like what are you
it's so
talking
weird.
about?
Right.
That
Like,
would make sense.
and
you
I
run
guess.
Twitch.
You know
Of
what?
course, it's business.
That's a really great
Yeah.
point, and it further shows the emphasis on like morality over business. That they presumably like it's so important to the crew
Yeah.
that we have to be morally correct and we have to support the right creators, and we can't have the wrong creators on our
This
platform.
isn't
So like,
a
but also
he has
that,
to pretend like he as CEO is not doing it for business.
and then those moral paragons are Aiden Ross.
Yep.
Like that's the disconnect too. It's
Welcome.
just like what are we talking about?
Yeah.
He's changed.
And if Aiden genuinely had if he didn't have clips from 2 months ago talking about how Hitler wasn't so bad, then I probably would have the attitude too that yeah, he should be unbanned. But like
Well,
he clearly hasn't. Come
And
on.
I hate to break it to you, but Dan Clancy has a similar view of Hitler.
You think that's why he's like wow based?
My,
I think so.
My personal
Well,
theory.
you do kind of have to wonder, just with all the evidence in front of us.
Yeah, he definitely he read Mein Kampf and he was a great admirer of it, allegedly.
I don't think that's true.
Go ahead, love.
I disagree. He just unbanned the biggest Jewish streamer on Twitch.
Yeah, who's also like literally like
Who's paradoxically a Hitler
the
fan.
dumbest Jewish representative we have on earth.
He certainly doesn't have a problem with what Aiden is saying, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and by the way, there's no one better to deliver Hitler apologia than a Jew. There's no
So
more
true. They have
perfect-
credibility.
Yeah, he's saying it. Love, you were gonna say?
Yeah, my personal theory is why he got unbanned now is because I think iShowSpeed had a lot to do with it. Because iShowSpeed has been popping off crazy
He's
on
on
YouTube.
YouTube, right?
Like 150K
He's on
views,
YouTube
yeah.
with 150K. He used to be on Twitch.
And he left.
He moved after he got banned.
They banned him. Why would they ban him?
They
He's
banned
such
him
a,
for legit reasons. It was the Omegle stuff where he screamed that thing.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
But like,
I
he
genuinely
talk about someone who's changed. I
Exactly.
mean, his
Right.
streams
Yeah,
are great.
right.
I've
Wholesome.
been loving his stream
That's actually
lately.
Yeah,
that's a
his streams are
fantastic
really
counterexample.
good.
Why,
I
why
think
is he
that's-
still banned?
He's
That's
not
somebody
still
who-
banned.
Oh, he's not?
No, he's not still banned.
Then
but
that's not a great example. I take it
But
back.
he's saying that on YouTube.
I'm
clearly.
saying that they are probably like, we shouldn't be banning people. These people might just go to YouTube.
We gave
They're-
away
why-
we gave away the golden goose.
Yeah.
by driving him away.
iShowSpeed is massive.
I think they are probably very upset that they
Doctor
forced him to
Disrespect,
move.
they got banned.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, like, this morality hole that they've put themselves in this corner where like everything we have to do is righteous and moral. There's no one left. There's gonna be no fucking people left because you know, guess what? These streamers are a little fucking cuckoo, and sometimes they do dumb shit. A lot of times they do dumb shit. And you know, if you want to be this like moral arbiter, you're not gonna have many fucking people left. The only people left on your website is gonna be Hassan, who, by the way, is a terrorist supporter. You can't be left enough, basically. The lefter, the better. But iShowSpeed, I was watching one of his streams just a few days ago. It was just on my homepage. I had like 250,000, and he's in
Wow.
China doing like all kinds of crazy.
Yeah.
It was
It's-
nuts.
So, yeah, I genuinely think he's changed. I've watched him a lot
Yeah.
over the past month when he's been doing his China streams, and he
very
seems like a really
respect-
good dude.
He seems. I totally agree.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, he's very respectful. He's very considerate of the people around him.
Yeah,
And he seems to be a good role model to kids as
Yeah.
someone who like acts responsibly.
Yeah, he was very young too. He's still very
Yeah.
young, and
Still young.
I mean,
right?
sure, it doesn't
Dude.
fully absolve him of the shit he's done. I mean, but at the end of the day, he's showing that he's changed at least.
I mean,
now.
what did he do?
Right.
He had one terrible joke that he did once.
A couple, multiple
Nah,
multiple
there were
terrible
multiple.
things. Yeah,
The one that you're thinking of was definitely the worst. And,
yeah, multiple for sure.
I mean,
but still,
it's just you're right. I mean, yeah, he's super young. He's still just like in his early 20s,
I
right?
think he's like 22 or something.
So I mean, Twitch is digging its own grave by being like, "Sorry, you're not good enough."
Yeah.
He's in Mongolia now.
Well, I feel
cool.
like you're making the argument that you're kind of making an argument for Dan Clancy's
Well,
action.
He's right, but he's also clearly lying because, well, no, it's inconsistent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well,
Yeah,
Twitch
that I
is
agree.
inconsistent consistently.
Yeah,
You don't-
that-
you don't
Yeah,
have
that's
to
the
follow
consistent
your
thing
own
about
TOS.
Twitch.
Since its inception, it's always been
That's
that
true.
way.
It's
Yeah.
always kind of just been super arbitrary with a lot of things over there.
Yeah, there's been so much weird, toxic things on Twitch, like staff members being recognizable in chat. That has stemmed to a lot of like multiple issues. Back in the days, I remember like there was some staff member who essay was like weird to girls and shit like
Yep,
that.
I know all about that.
And they got a special badge in chat, and when they went around to these different streamers, like obviously you're gonna bow to them because you see
Yeah.
that wow, a staff
He was
member in chat.
flirting with girls.
I think I remember that. You know,
Yeah.
Ethan and I, when we used to be on Twitch a long time
Mm-hmm.
ago, we always got that like red flag from them,
Yeah.
just from the way they would handle stuff, the way they would talk to us, and
Also,
I think it's that too,
one-
the way that like their employees would be in chat and like,
Yeah, no, it's
it's
super
like
inappropriate.
you're not an influencer.
Like
you
imagine
just work
someone
there,
in our
so-
YouTube chat comes in as like staff member and starts
Yeah.
laughing at certain jokes. Like you're gonna make
It's a
sure
weird
you don't-
dynamic.
Yeah,
It's
it's,
a
a
ve-
very
it's
very
always
weird
been
dynamic.
You don't
like
want to
that.
mix that. You want to have there needs to be a separation
Yeah.
between, like, you can have community managers who like is a point person.
Yeah.
Anyway, something that I always remember about when we were working with Twitch is when we had Joey Salads get pepper sprayed, and they banned his stream.
Right.
Yeah.
He was streaming so that we could watch it on our stream.
Right.
And so he got pepper sprayed for charity, and they banned his stream.
And not ours.
And then after the stream, I was like, "That's crazy! You banned him." First of all, like, why did you ban him and not punish us? That seems kind of fucked up. And
Nobody was watching his stream.
Right.
It was literally.
It was for us.
It was
Yeah.
for
It was our stream.
the purpose of being on our show.
It was. He literally was like, "Well, of course you get special treatment."
There you go.
Like,
And there it
verbatim.
is.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Really? Okay."
Okay.
I always think back when Ninja left for Mixer and they unverified him, or like
They did that
whatever
to
it
me.
was. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a crazy thing to do. It's like just
Yeah.
because they left, it's like, oh, well, you're a traitor, so bye. It's
They
like,
did that, and we didn't even have like. I mean, we left because they wouldn't give us a deal that I thought was satisfactory. But they fucking they nuked our partnership. Like, why?
Spite.
Yeah, spite. Like, what do we do?
It's a weird thing for a company to do. Even like Dan Clancy talking about unbanning Aiden himself is so weird. I feel like they should just follow TOS to a T.
For real.
But they don't.
That's it.
I mean,
that's what you should
Exactly.
exactly.
Dan
TOS.
Clancy is totally piggybacking on that. It's like, oh wow, staff member in chat. Like he's just one of a viewer, like pretending like he's anyone, but he's gonna have like pull.
Yeah.
Like he's not just your average guy running around on these like TwitchCon or whatnot. You're gonna have to like worship him to get in the good
it's
graces.
very weird.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
I heard a story from somebody close to it inside that this guy who was like creeping on girls, like
Yeah.
it was worse than that. There was like really like borderline illegal shit, and they covered it up big time.
Yeah, no, it was super bad. It's I think I remember his name. I don't want to say it because I'm not 100% sure, but
Be 100% on
yeah,
that.
for sure.
I just sent you this.
Yeah, no,
Is that known?
I don't know, but I don't know if I think there might
I've
even be
never heard
multiple.
of this. No.
Sounds
At
vaguely
any
familiar,
rate,
but we
Yeah.
should be cautious.
no, I'm not going to say that. It's
Okay,
none of my
got it.
business. So, where are we? So, in terms of this opening wider, I can say that emphatically. It's not for business. This isn't even remotely related to business. I swear, guys, listen, it's not business related. Listen, if we needed money, we do other things.
This
It's not for
decision that I'm
business.
making running this giant company is not business related, okay?
It's personal.
What are you talking?
It's, yeah,
Like
exactly.
so telling in so many ways.
It's because I believe in this young man. It's about deciding. It's about deciding about when you can give someone a second chance. So again, once again, he's
so
the moral arbiter.
inspirational.
He's the kingmaker. It's Dan Clancy that decides who gets a second chance.
Right. And what
must make
and
me
what
feel-
qualifies you getting a second chance? Having 80,000 live viewers?
Hitler
Is that the
you-
threshold? That it's now.
Hitler was a great leader. Okay, say what you will, but that guy, he really could put on a rally.
Say what you want about Hitler.
You know,
Listen,
the best
it was-
rallies, the greatest rallies we've seen.
Say what you will, but he was good at marketing.
He was a great.
You're what a
at the
marketing
rally.
genius.
And then giving them a chance. But if they don't live up to our expectations, we take action. So in terms of this opening the wider community to harm, I think that if he doesn't live up to our community guidelines, then he won't still be on Twitch, okay? This line of thought is worth scrutinizing because it's unlikely that having Aiden Ross and his army of disaffected boys back in town is bad for business. No, not at all. Indeed, it could even prove beneficial for Twitch in the long run if the company and Ross play their cards right. For one, Ross is undoubtedly a needle mover. His 24 kick stream with then President Donald Trump, a masterclass in the art of shameless suck-uppery, peaked at
Shout out XQC.
580,000. That's insane.
That's a lot.
On kick, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, 600,000, that's like a fifth of their entire viewership right now.
Yeah.
Right. Good point.
It's not good.
Like I said, I think they're feeling the pressure over there at
Yeah.
Twitch.
Oh yeah, and that number, by the way, the 3 million, that's peak hour. It goes down to 1 at during night.
That is brutal.
So
Right.
yeah, it's
One is
quite
sounds
low.
really bad.
So maybe
Yeah.
in the end, you know, it is a weird, interesting thing because it's like Kick is obviously like pretty cancerous, and the environment over there and everything. But in a weird way, Trainwreck is like, by making a competitor, like an actual viable competitor to Twitch, like, I think at least I'll just speak for myself. I felt like this ain't gonna last and this is so stupid or whatever. But it seems like they're really like kind of putting the screws to Twitch a little bit with this stuff. That they have to take it seriously now, which is why they're making moves like this. Trying to entice people back from over there.
They're gonna fucking run Twitch out of business.
Right. You know.
For two, the far right grift is in right now all across the internet, even on Twitch, where Zach Asmongold, Hoyt, daily missives decry DEI, and Democrats have installed him as the new politics king over deposed leftist himbo sensation Hassan Piker. Hate is against Twitch's community guidelines unless you know how to word it correctly. Oh please, like that doesn't fucking apply to is the Zionist hater. We hate Zionists around here. We don't believe in hate unless it's somebody I also hate. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, Ross has crossover appeal. One of the biggest creators advocating for his return from exile was Kai Cenat. Really?
I think they're kind of dogs. Or at least like get along.
Live stream's biggest star of the past few years and a bona fide real celebrity at this point. Though I guess now the two are maybe beefing over the notion that Cenat didn't try hard enough to help him get unbanned. I don't know, man. Can you please be professional? It's besides the point. Yeah. Ross is also buzz with Manosphere adjacent luminaries like Jake Paul. Okay.
Would we call Jake Paul Manosphere adjacent?
Not really.
I kind of. I think
adjacent.
adjacent's probably fair.
It's with like the Dana White UFC people. I mean,
can
see that.
Manosphere? Maybe.
I think adjacent is fair too.
I think I
don't think he's quite in the Manosphere, but certainly
maybe it's more
Manosphere friendly.
Maybe Brosphere.
Basically, he's terrible, irritating. He's a terrible, irritating link in a lot of lucrative chains. If you were Clancy, the head of a company that everyone knows is not profitable, and that remains in the thrall of Jeff Bezos, one of the history's most bottom-line obsessed overlords, and you are not being disingenuous about your purpose, which is always to make decisions motivated first and foremost by business considerations, you could do quite a bit worse than this. The remainder of Clancy's explanations reiterated his philosophy on the idea of indefinite bans, which he's outlined elsewhere and which he does not seem to really believe in, at least insofar as it allows him to be nominally friendly with everyone regardless of ideological bent. Aiden's been banned for over 2 years, Clancy said. He was banned for having a certain number of strikes on his account rather than a singular offense that led to indefinite suspension. It's important to note these suspensions are not indefinite. They're not permanent. They've always been thought of as indefinite. Many organizations use indefinite suspensions. In basketball, Draymond Green was indefinitely suspended from the NBA and then let back on. That's not what indefinite means, isn't it?
Yeah, no, indefinite just means it's TBD.
Usually when when people
definite.
use that, it means like bye-bye.
I think that
unlimited amount of time.
Unlimited or unspecified. I think it's the second that applies in most of these cases. Also, isn't Draymond Green also like, you know, maybe he's not the one that's super anti-Semitic, right?
Who?
Draymond Green?
Variant.
Is he?
Oh, Draymond Green, I don't know anything about him. That's interesting if he's the one that he noted, though.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could be confused.
Hold on.
Draymond Green, I know, gets into fights all the time. Like, like punches
that.
people
Let's
and
see
shit.
who's Dan Clancy's favorite NBA player.
The chat will help me out. I'm not I wish Tom or Ian were here. They would know.
Kanye West makes anti-Semitic comments, and Draymond Green takes a break from the NBA.
Those might not be connected.
They might not. Yeah.
I think he was suspended for attacking a teammate.
He doesn't seem to be the anti-Semitic guy.
Yeah, he hit someone in the face.
Fire.
Okay, yeah, the chat's saying no, that's not him.
Yeah,
okay, I'm sorry to slander you,
Shame.
Draymond Green. Draymond Green just gets into physical altercations with people all the time. He's not necessarily.
That's bad.
Kyrie, that's right. Okay, Kyrie Irving.
On Clancy's
Kyrie's
watch,
weird.
Twitch has been allowing indefinite suspensions, and the black marks on the streamers.
Wait, somebody said Kyrie is also streaming on Twitch. No way. Are they trolling?
See?
The person I was thinking, I think they might be trolling me in the chat. Irving, Twitch.
Wait, that's the anti-Semitic guy?
Yes.
He streams on Twitch?
Well, I don't,
Well,
I think I might be getting trolled.
We need to
So.
check.
Wait, no, maybe not. There's a channel with his name that has 250,000 followers. Okay, maybe he's on here. There's no VOD, so I can't check.
Yes, I think.
I think
Anyways,
makes
doesn't
you,
matter.
just makes you wonder. We have a team. Where was I? On Clancy's watch, Twin has been allowing indefinite suspensions and the black marks on streamers' records left behind by prior suspensions to expire. Outside of a few selected high-severity harms like violent content and youth safety, indefinite suspension streamers can apply to have their account reinstated after 6 months. Clancy said that Ross passed the test. We have a team that looks into this, and it is always a challenging line. We do believe that it's important for people to be able to change the way that they have behaved. Like, again, it's not, you are not the fucking, just have, you got banned for 6 months. Okay? It shouldn't be up to you guys to be like, I think he's changed. Like, you're not a fucking parole board.
I see.
You're
Okay.
a goddamn
I think that clarifies
social
it.
media.
You think it should just be if you get banned, you've been banned.
Make a decision.
You're banned
6 month
for
ban.
You're banned for 2 years.
And they come back.
Right.
And if they fuck around, then you can ban them permanently. But, like, don't play this game where you guys set yourself up as the moral arbiters. And by the way, when they do that, it gives them a weird power advantage over everybody on the platform.
Well, of course.
So
It's
it
just-
feels like, oh, I need to appease them because they actually judge all of us.
Yes.
And if I get in trouble, they're gonna take care of me if they like me. And They're not gonna take care of me if they don't like me, which is insane.
I mean, it makes me appreciate the YouTube system where at least you can somewhat predict, like,
100%.
okay, I might get a strike from this, you know, I might get a claim. And then if you have 3 strikes, you know, you're out. But, like, it just seems like so
I think it's fair
random.
to say that you like on YouTube they do give in some ways some systemic like leeway to bigger YouTubers. Like in terms of like we were talking about the other day, like our channel is less likely to get claimed because we have like a big channel, for example.
Well, you were speculating. I don't know.
But my point was going to be that in terms of breaking TOS, like you having a guy at YouTube has never in any way helped us avoid getting in trouble, as evidenced by the fact
Strikes,
that we've
no.
gotten lots of
And that's
trouble
it.
over
You
the
get
years.
a strike, you
Right.
get banned for a week.
Yeah, even if you have a
get
good
2 strikes,
relationship,
you get banned for 2 weeks. You
Right.
get 3 strikes, you get kicked off. It's fucking simple shit, guys.
Right.
There's not like a parole board at YouTube who's like, has he changed?
Right.
I want to judge his character and principles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair criticism of Twitch. And it's not a new one. Again, it's just it is very interesting that it's at this point there that internal meetings are being videotaped secretly by employees and spread around to journalists. So
Do we know that that is true?
He's seen the report.
well, we have to take this guy at his word.
Well,
I
he's not
suppose.
going to lie.
He
said
says
he
that
saw the video.
he says that he was shown the video and this is what was in the video. He didn't actually share the video itself. That would have been cool to be able to see. That would have been really interesting. But yeah, we're just taking him at his word here.
We have a team that looks into this, and it's always a challenging line. Did I read this part? We do believe that it's important for people to be able to change the way they have behaved in the past. I think it's a critical component. We try to assess the likelihood that you will behave consistently with our guidelines, he said. In this case, Aiden has made a number of public statements about trying to change. Oh, he said he wants to change, guys. We've gotten feedback from various people about him trying to change. He's trying to. He hasn't changed. He's trying. I'm still trying.
to change, man.
As always with this, we will see how it works out. Clancy added that Ross will find himself under extra scrutiny for the time being, and that he's looking at fewer potential strikes before he's out again. In general, for those that are unaware, when people come back from suspensions such as this, we also hold them to a fairly high standard. Clancy said, it's not like they start off from ground zero. The severity of any enforcement action or otherwise might be more severe given where we're at. Okay. Whatever, bro. You're phony fucking baloney. That's it.